you're mainly Camden County, but I just wanted to say a couple Morgan County specific pieces, just because if you do have folks in Morgan County, the biggest no vote should come from Morgan County, in my opinion. The closest business or state-of-play lodging is 45 minutes away from this complex. So we keep being told, you're gonna see business, Morgan County will see business. We all know that that's not true. Second thing, the Morgan County clerk, it's 16,000 is what was reported as the estimated cost for Morgan County, not 12 to 15, it's 16. Third, Morgan County has different wording on their ballot, which is really surprising and concerning. There's nothing about sports tourism, nothing about a sports complex. I have it here if you want to see it.
Yeah, read it, please.
Shall the lodging tax of Morgan County Business District be increased from 3 to 6%, also doubling, on the amount of sales or charges for all lodging paid by transient guests of hotels, motels, and resorts within the Morgan County Business District to provide funds for the promotion of tourism in the district. Now, as a Morgan County TCLA member, I've seen nothing telling us how our doubling of lodging tax is going to be used for promotion of tourists in the district of Morgan County. My last point, the business district of Morgan County sits on the TCLA. It's 2 members. We have 2 voting members. Those 2 members meet on their own and made the call for Morgan County. I've called 12 lodging industries in Morgan County. None of them knew that that happened. None of them knew that this was on the ballot, and none of them were in support. And I just want you all to know that on behalf of Morgan County, since we're sort of some of the main players in that area.
That's
So,
the same thing I wrote
thank you.
earlier.
Thank you. This particular tax, and again, I'm just coming from Morgan County, that's who I'm representing. It is asking the Morgan County transient, lodging guest to double what they're currently paying, 3% to 6%. Correct?
Yeah, that's correct. It would go, if I'm understanding your question correctly, yes, we're looking at a 3% increase.
Great. We have actually reached out to a lot of our guests at Bass Point Resort, and just in my last figures, compared with what you budget to receive from Morgan County and what we bring in as what I think might be one of the largest lodging options in Morgan County, our guests are paying somewhere between, I think, 20 and 23% of what's budgeted to be received from Morgan County. I sought out a lot of their input. They are the fixed incomes travelers. They are staying longer than 2 nights generally. And we know we're a little different over there, but what we really see with our guests is they're very, they have a high repeat, business over to the Morgan County area, and they're very loyal. So we're hearing from them that it would really shock them, honestly, if they were to see that jump in taxes. So
let's, the lodging tax in FY18 was $1,777,000 was collected. 2.3% of that, about $45,000 was collected in Morgan County. 7.3 was collected in Miller. 90% of the tax is collected in Camden County.
Right, totally understand. Leads me to my next question, thank you. Is the additional 3% that we're asking the Morgan County visitors, these loyal and repeat guests, pay, is it required for the successful completion of this soccer complex?
The initial numbers we looked at, we feel that if it passes in Camden County and does not pass in Miller or Morgan County, it would still be possible.
Thanks, that's what we thought. So it would be possible for someone like us who's in support of the soccer complex to be in support, but to still vote no on the Morgan County ballot.
Yeah, I can't tell you how to vote. I mean, I'd like everybody to vote yes, but regardless of if it passes in Miller or Morgan County, they still will be part of the process of the stay and play model and be able to offer rooms
Right.
in the process.
And I understand that. And just to speak to this woman's point too, we also feel that very little rooms will be generated in Morgan County because of this. Our closest lodging option to the soccer complex in Morgan County is about a 45-minute one-way drive. In addition to that, I've talked to a lot of the Morgan County lodging options, about 10 of them in Morgan County, and we serve a high fisherman population in our shoulder seasons. We're afraid we may not be good options for these families, nor does seeking out a 2-night stay fit within who we're trying to focus on currently. Just wanted to throw that in.
To be part of the stay and play model, it's your choice as a hotel owner if you participate.
Right, and I understand we'd have to approve the lodging increase to be able to participate in that. But regardless, we're supportive of the soccer complex, really supportive of youth in sports, and see the good things that it could do for the area, but unfortunately, I don't see these dollars being needed from Morgan County, and really need to honor what our guests' opinions are in asking them to double what they currently pay. So we'll be voting no in Morgan County. Thank you also for holding this meeting.
Very good, thank you, Megan. Come right back to you.
I'm not a bond expert by any means. I'm not an attorney. So I think it's premature to try to calculate exactly the length of the bonds, the terms of the bonds, and the type of bonds.
The project leaders estimate an additional $75 million in visitor spending to the lake area. Martin says those numbers assume a lot of spending, about $300 per person per weekend.
The math that they're using is not accurate based off of the number of teams that will be playing, the age that they're playing, the skill level that they play, the number of games that they play.
Another concern brought up last night was the vote by the Tri-County Lodging Association to put the lodging tax increase on the ballot in Camden, Miller, and Morgan counties. Matt Foote, the owner of Skyline Resort, says there are a lot of resort owners who are against the tax increase, and they weren't asked before that vote was made.
We're not against growth. We're not against the soccer field coming to town. By no means. We want visitors here. But the way they're doing it and the way they're going about doing it without a vote from all of the TCLA members is the wrong way about going about doing it.
Now, I emailed Jim DeVinson, who is the administrator of the TCLA, for a comment on that claim that was made that a lot of resort owners were not asked about their opinions on this before the board voted. I have not yet heard back. Reporting live tonight in Osage Beach, I'm Andrew Havranek.
Who does somebody who has a problem with the Lake of the Ozarks Area Business District go to? Because there is no duly elected board. And elections are kind of an important thing. It's kind of one of those foundations of our country that we have the assurance that there's going to be fair elections that are properly conducted. That's how the people are able to voice their opinion on things.
I agree.
That is not being done with the Lake of the Ozarks Area Business District Advisory Board.
I agree.
So you're basically saying taxation without representation?
Pretty much.
Yes. That's what he's saying. I think what you'd have to do is a group of people who are affected by the tax would need to
Right here.
I think you guys would have to take them to court because a judge has the authority to do something about it.
I'm listening, I hear Tri-County Lodging Association, I hear Lake Area Business, and I don't have a lodge, but we're being asked to vote. As a citizen of Camden County, we have the right to vote on this. So when I go look up at the ballot, it says Camden County Business District. Well, I'm like trying to figure out who all these entities are. I can find nothing on the internet about Camden County Business District. When I punch in Lake Erie Business District, it takes me right over to TCLA. And it's like, well, who are we voting for and who's getting this money? Because from the ballot to the Lake Erie Business and TCLA, it isn't clear. This is like clear as mud. And so I'm thinking, if I can't figure out who's getting this money, I doubt that anybody that's checking yes or no knows who they're voting for and who's getting the money because of the different names that they're going under. It's crazy. And it's not clear. So, and I challenge you, go on your phone and Google Camden County Business District. You find nothing. If you go Lake Area Business District, you find them, and then you see a /CO TCLA. And if this is a not-for-profit entity, and we're supposed to have an advisory board, you know, because we're voting to give these people money, and whether I have a lodging thing or not, you're asking me to say yes or no, or vote or not vote, for something that I can't even find exists. And that's kind of a problem.
Yeah, okay. All right, folks.
Can I ask how your findings, once your findings are found, how they'll be communicated?
You know, the commission, we're gonna get a written opinion from the county attorney, and then the commission's going to make that opinion.
We put it on the website.
So we don't really know kind of where we're at on this right now.
I understand.
I don't know the extent of what the commission's authority is, but keep in mind, that is a separate political entity. The Lake Area Business District is a separate political entity, and I just, honestly, I don't know where we sit. This is just kind of,
I'm just wondering, once, like I said, what is 40 hours or 2 weeks, or
Right.
whatever the case may be.
Okay.
Once you find that out, how will that be communicated? That was all I was
yeah.
asking.
We're gonna need to look into this right away. We'll try, and Gail, we'll try to figure out where we're at on this as quickly as we can, but, you know, this is kind of new territory.
Yep.
This has never been brought up before.
We're all new to it in the last week, most of us.
Okay, all right. Folks, anybody else?
Who's next?
I do have one question. Mr. Mackley, how will you determine whether the Lake of the Area Business District is a entity? What do you have to go back on to prove this?
I don't know that it is, because you're referring to the Lake the Ozarks Business District. I think it's the same thing as Camden County Business District. I mean, Camden County Business District is the entity that asked for the issue to be put on the ballot. It wasn't the Lake of the Ozarks Business District.
Okay,
It
so
was
who's
the
that?
Camden County Business District.
How do we get hold of them?
And so
I don't know.
what will you do in your research to find that they are a viable entity, that they've had meetings, that they've properly elected a board? How will you determine that information?
I'll take my direction from the county commission. I don't know how deep they want me to get into that, whether they want me to look at minutes,
We're gonna-
whether they
we're
want
gonna
me to
dig.
try to find the history of it.
I would like to know
I
who
don't
put
know.
this on the ballot. All three counties, we'll contact Morgan and Miller
We just want it to
separately,
be
but
right.
who put this on the ballot and did they
Camden
even have
County Business
jurisdiction?
District.
Okay.
I mean, I know
I don't
that-
know who put it on the ballot, but I don't know who came to see Roland.
Sure. Yeah,
Uh,
I
all
understand that.
all I've got is a copy of the resolution in order.
I know that you all said that you don't have the authority to stop the funds to the TCLA. Well, what's to stop these owners from all putting their money in an escrow account until they can get it sorted out? I mean, they're still collecting it, they're still putting it in escrow.
You know, that's
That's what I would do.
outside
if
of
I
our
were you. I mean, I
scope.
put it in escrow account, I wouldn't give them
Yeah,
that.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna look into what the commission's obligations under the statute are in terms of oversight, and
But that is an option.
Just to be clear, you did not say that you don't have the authority. You said you don't know if you have the authority.
we need to figure out where we're at.
Yeah, I wouldn't say absolutely we don't, I would say I don't, because I don't know at this point.
And
I mean,
if you
'cause
find that the Camden County Business District, or whoever put this on the ballot, since this is new information to us to right now, does not exist, where do we go from there?
I don't have that answer yet.
I don't know.
Because
I mean, that's a
potentially we pull this from a vote November 5th. You cannot vote for something that does not exist.
You're asking all these people to pay
Certified.
taxes. I mean, the hard part is, when you look at these people that are paying this tax, and everyone says no one's paying the tax, I mean, the tourists are, these people should be the ones that should have voted. But not only do they not get a vote, you know, they didn't even know there was an election, and the election that was held is completely
At least
loosey-goosey.
the vote to put on the ballot to the.
And so the issue is, they're the ones that are actually gonna pick up this burden, but what they're saying is they've not been represented at all. So to now learn there's a Camdenton Business District, in addition to like the Ozarks Business District, and they're the ones that put it on the ballot, this is insane. I mean, these people need representation.
So our next stop is
Understand.
Morgan and Miller.
Keep in mind that the election authority is the county clerk.
Do you advise him also?
Excuse me?
Are you advising him also on this issue?
He has not asked me anything about this issue.
But you are the legal representation for
Of the
the
entire
clerk's
county.
office as well?
Yes.
Being the Camden
I
County.
mean, yeah, if he came to me and asked me to look into it,
Well,
I
we'll
would.
make sure he does that.
okay.
Is that, is
Okay,
he over
yes,
there? Do we need to go over there?
That's what we'll
I'd like to say one thing.
Yeah, do you
I
wanna do
understand
the
everybody
workshop?
has concerns about TCLA. I am not part of TCLA. I'm with the Convention Visitor Bureau. But if you want immediate answers, the TCLA meetings are public. There's one tomorrow at 9 a.m. Then I would suggest you go there and ask the people at TCLA.
We can ask him, but that, yeah.
I don't
Appreciate your
care.
time. That's fine. Yeah, we appreciate you showing up, thank you.
We don't care about
You're disappointed or
TCLA.
something.
They're a private entity, just like the CBD is. They have no authority to spend their lodging tax.
Okay, anyone else?
Yeah.
Are we good?
I think we're good.
All right.
For now.
I'll make motion to adjourn.
So we're going back to looking at how everything was set up and everything. Charlie, you're the city attorney, right? County, sorry. County attorney. Did you have anything to do with the original language when the Lake Area Business District was set up? Did you contribute to that language?
Did I contribute anything to the language?
Yeah.
No.
Did you help with anything, advise anything with the original setup of the business district?
At one time, I did do work for the Lake Association.
Okay.
Our firm did do some work for Tri-County Lodging initially,
Okay.
but I didn't have anything to do with the setting up of the language.
I just want to make sure there wasn't any conflict of interest.
I've not done anything for Tri-County Lodging or the Lake Area Business District or Camden County Business District in years.
But you have.
For the Lake Association and some work for Tri-County Lodging.
Yes. So you have done some work for Tri-County Lodging Association.
Early on.
But you have.
Yeah. But I
And
don't
was this in
consider- I don't-
1993 when it was originally all set
I
up?
don't recall, I'd have to look back.
Well, I think
it was
that should be
initially.
part of your research.
I think it was
That should be
initially-
the homework.
What's that?
I think you should include that in the homework, and then if there's a
Well,
conflict
I
of
don't-
interest,
I don't
I expect you
consider-
guys.
I don't
to do
consider that
something
I
about
have a conflict now.
Yeah, but when you look back at what you did before,
I'm not gonna look back
you would
because I don't
recuse
consider.
yourself if you thought there was a conflict of interest?
If I thought there was a conflict, I would step aside.
Okay.
Ethically, I would have to.
Okay,
But I don't consider it to be a conflict.
okay, thank you.